One of the advantages of being in office for a while is that you get to know how processes work, you get to know office holders, you get to form alliances, and sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you form friendships. But several years ago, when Dick Devine was the state's attorney, he sent an assistant state's attorney who was in charge of like the outreach into the communities, and she's now a judge, Nera Walsh, but she came to see me at the recommendation of a friend who was a circuit court judge who I had gone to high school with. And she was looking for an office in the city, anywhere in the city, to establish what they were terming a neighborhood justice office, which would have been essentially a remote office outside of a courthouse, away from police stations, and in a place where people could come in, talk to the state's attorney, have a meeting, explain what their situation was, and seek some advocacy on the part of themselves or community or neighbors, whatever. And so when we began talking, I began thinking that this might be an opportunity for us to do something that was a little bit unique in government, and that's recognize that we all serve the same taxpayers, that all of the budgets for all of the various county and municipal governing bodies all get taxes from the same people. So I thought if we could find a place that's already a government office, but a non-threatening government office, and we could get them in there and have them come in for free if we had the extra space, it would work. So our ward yard, which is located on Western Avenue near Berwyn, we had a part of our ward yard that had recently become vacant because they had reassigned some personnel to another location. So I went to the Department of Streets and Sand and to the people in general services who do the facilities and kind of pitched the idea of giving 2 rooms and a conference room to the state's attorney's office. And really, all it really required was that phones be put in for the 2 assistant state's attorneys and for their clerical person. And so the criminal justice office was born. It functioned for a number of years until budget cuts required State's Attorney Devine to close it. And then when Anita Alvarez became the state's attorney, they reapproached me and said, is there any chance we could get those neighborhood offices up and running again, or that neighborhood office up and running again, because it had actually been a very unique and a very good outreach for community. So I said, well, we had mothballed the property. We were always hoping that once the budget crisis had passed, you guys would reconsider. So we said certainly. So the office is there. It's unique in this instance. It basically takes up and tries cases that are important to a community. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a major felony. It could be something that's just kind of affecting in a bad way the quality of life. It could be people that are destroying or vandalizing, blocks and blocks of property through graffiti. It can be anything that basically makes your neighborhood less safe, less tranquil, less enjoyable. And so it can run the gamut from severely violent crime to almost nuisance type things, but things that you want the judicial system to pay particular attention to, because we as a community that is heightened in our sense of what's allowable, what we'll tolerate and what we won't, it allows us to be able to affect the outcomes by bringing a spotlight and by bringing a sense of urgency to the court system. Now, some people ask, well, why would you need to do that? And while I like to think that they're right in the perfect world, it's only naive to think that a judge or prosecutors that see hundreds and hundreds of cases every day can give every case the same level of intensity. And so this office and these prosecutors give us the ability to bring that intensity in cases that we as a community feel they're important to.